Welcome, everyone, to this after-service forum with the OUUC Board of Trustees. I'm Reverend Mary, and I use she, her pronouns. Susan Moon, who is the president of the Board of Trustees, asked me to light a chalice because that's what we do when we gather, as we heard this morning. Our spiritual practice for this month is repair, the spiritual practice of repair. So these words are from the Reverend Dave McFarland on the theme of repair. Bless generously, curse rarely, practice repair. Lean into comfort zones, strengths, and inklings of bliss, practice repair. Pause to ask whether words are both skillful and absolutely necessary, practice repair. Sing full-throated songs that create and recreate beloved community, practice repair. Let go of stubborn self-righteousness and have mercy, practice repair. Honor the ancestors who could not have imagined our lives or even our very being, practice repair. Multiply joy, divide sorrow, practice repair. With the tools at hand, practice repair. Perhaps I have tools you could borrow. Perhaps you could lend me from yours, and together we can practice repair.
It's great to see all of you. I am Susan Moon. I'm the president of the Board of Trustees right now. My wife is happy that I remembered my introduction. It's great to have you here today. And one of the things the board and I have been talking about is what the future is going to be like for us and for our mission and for the things that are important to us. And so I wanted us to have a little bit of time to kind of discuss this. Things that we might be interested in supporting more that we wouldn't have expected to had the administration change not been what it is. So we are all still dealing with that. As you talk, I'm hoping you will be mindful that, and I know in my case it's minute by minute, sometimes I feel like I can really, face the challenge and fight, and sometimes I'm very sad. So remember as you talk to each other that you're all going to feel different ways about it and be supportive. And what we're going to do today is kind of use a t-shirt as a tool to talk about what we could take action on next year. And so this is, I did not know there's Unitarian swag, but it turns out there's Unitarian swag. And this is a Unitarian t-shirt. So this is the colors they are. And what it says on it is standing on the side of love. Reverend Mary and some other people are going to have t-shirts like this with the Olympia Unitarian logo on it as well, available for us. The assumption being that we are going to need to be visible in public and need to let people know that there are different ways of looking at things and different ways to love God and nature and the environment that are not hurtful. So what we're going to do is talk about this idea of being visible in public wearing a t-shirt. I will, before we start, say, if you are really excited about making t-shirts or want to get involved in helping us figure that out, talk to Reverend Mary. We could use one or two more people on the committee, as we can always use one or two more people everywhere. What we're going to do is break up into groups of about 5 to 8, so that you can have a good discussion. And I'm going to give you discussion questions one at a time. I'll try to listen to when you're done, and then we'll move on to the next question. And I really am hoping that we can think about ourselves in this, because of course we make up the church. And somebody who just sat next to me and was talking said, it would be amazing to see a bunch of yellow shirts in one place. And so that's kind of what we're talking about. The people online are going to break up into rooms as well, but they're going to get all their questions at once so they don't have to keep coming back and going back. So if you want to just break up into a circle now, or into groups of 5 to 8, and I'll tell you what the first question will be.
Should I
Yeah, that would be wonderful. The groups are small just so you all have a chance to discuss, so nobody's going to test and see if you have the right number. Okay, well, that'll be good. All right. So the first question is going to be a check-in. The first question is going to be, I think, probably introducing yourselves, and then also, how are you feeling about the future today? Yeah, sorry. And don't be mad at the people that are feeling optimistic, because we need those people too. So go around, introduce yourselves, talk about how you're feeling about the future now. All right. You can continue your conversations afterwards. But if you want to move on to another question, the next question is, what does the phrase standing on the side of love mean to you? A little more optimism. What does standing on the side of love mean to you? So I'm going to give you guys another question to segue to. And that would be, our shirts are going to say OUUC on them as well. So I would love for you guys to talk about, if somebody walked up to you and said, what does OUUC mean? How would you describe it? I love movies, and so it's an elevator pitch in a movie. You have an elevator ride to tell an executive what the movie's about. If you had a very short couple of minutes to tell somebody at a protest or a demonstration what OUUC is about, talk about that. Talk about what you would be like to have it be like if you don't feel like you can say the things you want to say now. So just kind of brainstorm how we can be in the community and how we can help people know we're here. Five minutes, but then we're going to talk about what you learned. So wind these discussions down as much as you can, and then we'll come back together as a group to talk about what you learned or how you feel or whatever you want to say about this. And remember, this is just the beginning of our community supporting each other. So, okay, so wrap up. In about 30 seconds, we're going to get together as a group so that everyone can go home and not starve to death. It's been great to have you here and wonderful to watch everybody listening to each other. So do you want to lead this part? My brain has slipped.
Feel free. I'll take the mic around.
Okay, great.
Just don't forget the online folks. You can have them go first.
Okay. So the online people are back, so let's gather together. It's hard to stop, isn't it, when you find somebody you want to talk to? You can move your chairs back if that makes it easier. Sam, can you take notes?
Tammy was online.
Yeah, she said she was sick today. Yeah, you can write on the back of it, Sam. You can write it. Get in my purse. There's some. So what we're going to talk about for a few minutes is what you learned in this discussion, what surprised you, what made you sad, something that you learned from having a chance to talk to other people about our situation. Reverend Mary has the microphone, so if anybody wants to raise their hand and share what they learned. And the people online, if you can write it in the chat, that would be wonderful. So who has something, and it can be frivolous. It does not have to be deep and meaningful. So.
I think you need to remember that not everybody can be at the front of the line, and it's all right to be frightened. And never, never allow yourself to hate. The minute you do that, you've lost. So when that guy's coming after you with a club, think of him as a human being. And I tell everybody, you don't have to love the guy, but you can't, under any circumstance, hate.
Somebody else have something they'd like to share? Oh, there's a couple of people back there.
I'll do behind you, Frank, and then you're next.
Question. But what gets me through is I think about Thich Nhat Hanh and those monks and the midst of war, carrying food and supplies across the river, and just like Bill just said, just purging the negative out of your consciousness and going forward with strength and hope.
Okay.
The thing I learned is that we live in a bubble, a couple of bubbles. We live in a kind of an individual bubble, and then in the state we live in a bubble. And I think the other thing I learned is that we have to work at home. We have to get our community and our state working and integrate ourselves into effective institutions like the food bank, the library, and the Unitarian Church and stuff, so that we're prepared to look out for ourselves. And a thought that I had, but I didn't express, is that the love part comes out. Reach out to people you love in other communities, and you can deal with them. And there are people you can't really deal with effectively.
Okay. Anybody else like to share what they learned? Is there anybody on? Oh, there.
You said it could be frivolous.
It can be.
I love that we were supposed to talk about T-shirts, and we really did not.
I admit I did that on purpose, because sometimes people need an off-ramp if they're too upset to talk about things that are serious. So.
So on the subject of T-shirts, I just want to confirm, we had a conversation that the OUUC T-shirts will not be yellow.
I think they will be yellow.
Oh. I mean, not, and in no way disrespecting this gestalt. It's just that for some of us, yellow is not a good color.
I will tell you what I learned was there is Unitarian swag, and you can go on the Unitarian site and order a normal Stand With Love t-shirt and other t-shirts that say other things you would like in black.
Right.
We're Unitarians. I think we can handle it.
And the other thing I'll add is there is a strategy to the yellow. It's easily found, and easily found is good in a time when there might need to be safety issues taken into consideration. I'm also somebody who doesn't look good in yellow, and I'm going to wear a Side With Love t-shirt that's yellow. So that's the deal.
Okay. There's somebody back there. I thought the same thing too. Yellow's not my color, but it is great looking to find people, so.
Okay, it just as just a thought about, I love the idea of wearing something that identifies your commitment. And I will just say that I think that in addition to a t-shirt, because it's not going to be t-shirt weather for a very long time, that you might want a button, or at least consider having a button that you could wear on your coat. that would say the same message.
That's a great idea. Somebody in the board said, are we going to have sweatshirts?
Or vests, yep.
Well, fashion aside, I think yellow is a great color for a raincoat. So- and I think it would be important for it not to only say OUUC, but for it to say Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation. Even if Olympia, if there's not enough room, make Olympia big, because it allows people to realize that we are local and they could join us.
That's a great idea.
Brilliant. I love the raincoat idea. The other reason for the yellow is there's Unitarians all over the state who may be coming to Olympia to join us. So, yeah, I know you know, yeah, Ann. But raincoats, ooh.
And Reverend Mary, were you going to explain about the slogan change? Yeah.
Yeah, so these T-shirts say "Standing on the Side of Love," which is how the movement started. And it's based on a song by Jason Shelton, "Standing on the Side of Love." There was some growing awareness of how ableist that language is. And so Jason Shelton changed his song to "Answering the Call of Love." And now our justice movement in the UUA is called Side with Love. So that's what you saw on my stole this morning, if you noticed, it's Side with Love. So what we'll get as a logo to work with is the Side with Love with that kind of heart, and then we'll figure out how to do our OUUC chalice with our name spelled out so that folks know who we are.
Okay, and I think, was there somebody over here that wanted to say something?
So my fashion suggestion was this, that maybe another place where you might think about having such a logo would be on a safety vest. You know, the kind that you just put over, like when in the crosswalk guards. I know that's just a thought.
I think we're going to have fun with yellow, is
Yeah.
what I think.
Okay, anybody else? All right.
Okay, this is neither here nor there, but for those that don't like the yellow, can I just share some symbolism from Christian nationalism about what yellow represents in their salvation story? Is that it's hope, redemption, heaven, kind of the idea of gold. And so that we are what the true hope or the true salvation is love. But anyway, that was kind of my thought on the yellow.
Nobody can stop you from tie-dyeing it, just saying. That's my aesthetic, so. All right, well, I don't want to keep you guys forever. Thank you so much for being here, for talking to each other. Reach out to each other as we move on, because we all need community. And it was wonderful for you to spend your time doing this. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and travel safely if you're traveling. Thank you so much.
So I will extinguish our chalice, if you will.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
No,
forgot
that's
that
okay.
part.
So these are from Eric Hepburn. We extinguish this flame to remind us love is the center. As we explore and rest, engage and heal, love remains the center. And when all we can see is cold ashes, love remains. Thank you all.